Hello, everyone. It's Annette Anthony, your Vice President for Technology Engagement at Exit Realty Corp International. I'm really excited for today's session because we're talking about the ABCs of a solid CRM. Now, my history in technology started, back in 2001 when I was working with the team and the product that we were sharing with agents was a CRM system. Now, consider back in 2001, maybe contact management system was not regular practice, but agents really were struggling even then to find a solution to keep their connections together and organized. And even today, if you can believe it, there's still a challenge with CRM systems. But we're going to have a really good conversation today because my goal today is to help you get over the concern of staying organized and managing your contacts to a place where you're going to have confidence in the connections that you've made and you have a plan to stay connected with them continuously. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, CRM system is the number one tool that professional real estate agents use to stay connected. CRM can mean a few different things. It can mean a client relationship manager, okay? It can also mean a contact relationship manager. But there's two words in this acronym here, and that's R and M, relationship manager. So it doesn't matter if they're a client or if they're a contact, it's a human. And it's nearly impossible to stay connected with all the humans that you know without a place in which to organize them. Okay. What I also know to be true is, like I said, even today, a CRM is a challenge for many people. Now, I travel across the US and Canada, and I speak to a lot of agents. Just the other day, I was in an Uber ride. My Uber driver said he was brand new in real estate. And he asked me, what's the best CRM system to use? And I'm thinking, wow, here's a new individual who's with a different brokerage, different brand, and he's asking me what CRM system should he be using. So that again reiterates the fact that agents have a challenge when it comes to CRM systems. We're going to break through that today. I just want you to have an open mind and just understand that the opportunity for you to stay organized is right around the corner. We're going to solve this today. There's three things that we're going to cover. Okay, first of all, today is a new day. I want you to sit back and have the mindset that whether you've been disconnected from your clients or you're looking for a solution, today is a new day. Three things that we're going to cover. Number one, we're going to talk about getting started for those who don't have a solution or direction. And then we're going to talk about also getting restarted. Now, that's for those individuals who have CRM systems, but maybe they've not been as diligent in staying connected, okay? We're also going to talk about getting intentional. This is one of my favorite parts because I want you to become more intentional with those connections that you have, those people. I want to show you how you can get deeper and closer in a relationship. And then finally, we're going to talk about building a solid CRM system over time. So let's do this first. The getting started or restarted. First of all, let's talk about these three things. Who do you know? What do you know about them? And then knowing the value of your database. Okay, so let's go with the first one. Who do you know? I still find this being a challenge for many agents today because they'll tell me, I don't know anybody, Annette. And then I say, okay, first of all, you're not selling to some. I want you to think of the mindset. You're not selling, okay? All you're doing is you're being a resource. So I'm not asking you to put a list together of people that you want to sell to, okay? I'm asking you to put together a list of people that you want to be a resource to. That right there is going to help you say, okay, I know people that I could definitely help. That's the list that I'm asking you to put together, okay? So there's some resources too that you can check out. First of all, your phone. Yes, your mobile device is an absolute opportunity for you to tap into the relationships that you've made. Chances are you're texting people, you're calling them, you're sending them emails or their contacts in your phone. That right there is a great individual that you could start putting together a list and then put them into your CRM system. There's also other connections for you to consider to add into your CRM, and that is People in social media, right? Whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you are socially gregarious, okay, you have connections. It's about taking those connections, right, and building out a list. So again, it's making sure to go to your phone, which is this is a gold mine. You're going to have a lot of connections in here that you could start building with. The people on social, but there's more. What about those local places that you go and frequent? Okay, it could be organizations that you go to in person. It could also be relatives, right? And think about this. Okay, relatives. I want you to write that down. You might have relatives in other areas. Okay, so wherever you are, whatever your current market is, what if you have relatives in other states and other provinces, right? That's an opportunity for you to build out that list of people that you can be a resource to. Even though you don't sell in their markets, could you refer business to them in those markets? The answer is yes, of course you can. So when you're writing a list of potential relatives in other areas, I also want you to think about making a list of real estate professionals in those areas that you could refer them to, okay? And then I also want you to think of friends. Your friends can be anywhere. These are your close personal friends that you spend time with. Those are the individuals that I want you to build out on this list, okay? And then there's also immediate family. Now, when I think of immediate family, I think of my spouse, I think of my adult son and daughter. They too can absolutely be a resource to you, and you could be a resource to them by making sure that you add them to your list in your CRM. So we've got a lot of people already that you're probably thinking that are great opportunities for you to make connections with. But remember, you need to get out of the selling mindset because it's not selling. You need to get into the mindset of you want to be a resource to these individuals. So remember your phone. I want you to go into social media. I want you to go to the places that the local places that you frequent, the organizations that you're involved in. And don't forget about your relatives, your friends, and your immediate family. So I know when I say, who do you know? You're going to know a bunch of people that you can connect with. Make a list of those individuals. Now let's go a little deeper. Okay, I like this part. This part is, what do you know about those people? So we just talked about a good number of individuals that you can connect with, okay, that you could add into your CRM system. But how much about those people do you really know? Now, I put together a little list here. I put together a list of 20 things, and I want you to write these down because this is going to be a lot of fun. I want you to write this list. So first of all, full name. I want you to write down full name. And then I want you to write down under, so make yourself a list of 20 things. Full name, their email address, write that down, email address. The other is their phone number. Write down phone number. Mailing address, that's a big one because I love handwritten notes. So write down mailing address. Here's another one, their spouse or significant other, okay? Do they have a spouse, significant other? Their anniversary, okay? Whether it's their wedding anniversary, probably most similar. So wedding anniversary. The next thing I want you to write down on your list is kids. Do they have any kids? Write that down. How about pets? Do they have pets? Okay. Are people obsessed about their pets? Yes, they are. So write down pets. The other is hobbies. Hobbies. Okay. Here's another one, fitness. I want you to write down fitness. Are they involved in fitness? And then interests. Do they have interests that are unique? How about sports? Do you know what sports teams they love to root for? Is it college? Is it, professional sports? What about gardening? Do they love gardening? Okay, write down gardening. And then travel. Do they love to travel? I know people who love to travel and they've seen some pretty amazing places. Travel. Just a few more, okay? Tech. Do they love technology? Are they real techie? So write down technology or techie. And then business owner. This is a big one. Are they a business owner? Okay. Or here's the next one. What's their occupation? What's their occupation? That's a big one too. Another, just a few more. Their favorite restaurant. What's their favorite restaurant? And then any special skills, write down special skills, okay? And then here's the last one. Are they a community volunteer? So that was a list of 20 things. Imagine if you were to go through your list and maybe connect with 2 people a day and get the answers to everything on that list. Could you imagine? You're going to know so much about that individual. You're going to learn things about them that you can absolutely leverage throughout the year. So what am I talking about? Well, let's review. Obviously, their full name, their email address that you can send communications to, their phone number that you can call and check in. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Their spouse, so that you can ask them about their spouse, right? Their anniversary, you can ask, what are they doing for their anniversary? Their kids, what are their kids interested in? Okay, their pets. Pets are great. Hobbies, really cool hobbies that they might be interested in. Any fitness, right? So that when you see an article that they might be interested in, you can share that article with them. See where I'm going with this? And what about their interests? What are some of their unique interests that you never knew about? Their sports teams. I love sending sports team, sports, whether it's the final score of a game, it was a really close game. My audience and my CRM love that. If they're techie, if you come across something really cool that helps you with your business, you could share that with them. If they're a business owner, now I paused when I talked about this first. Business owner is big because you could certainly talk to them about their business. You can refer people to their business. Same for their occupation, right? What they do professionally, because you can send them referrals as well. Their favorite restaurant. Remember when we talked about their anniversary? What if you sent them a gift certificate to their favorite restaurant? Will that catch their attention? Absolutely, it will. What about their special skills, right? And then if they're a community volunteer, there's gold in this list, but chances are you might just know a few things about the people in your database. I encourage you, as we have a little bit of downtime as we go into the holidays, make this, you want to interview them. Let them know that you watched a webinar and it really touched a chord in motivating you to really get more connected with special people in your database. Okay. You could tell them it's only going to take us about maybe 15, 20 minutes, and be respectful of that time frame so that they know that's how much you're going to spend. And then write down all these great answers to the questions that you're going to ask them. And I guarantee you, you're going to learn a lot more about them than you ever expected. Okay, what's next? Ooh, this is my favorite. Knowing the value of your database, okay? So let's talk a little bit about knowing the value. First of all, when I became a certified mentor for Buffini and Company, one of the things that he talked about was this, and it's right here on the screen. I'd love it if you could take a picture of this, because I want you to have this somewhere in your office where you remember this very important statement, and that is this. If you connect 18 times over a 12-month period, you can expect 2 referrals for every 12 people that you know. That right there, let that sink in for a minute, okay? Because this is absolutely profound what this statement says. So simply, if you just engage with your contacts 18 times over the 12 months, and you might be thinking 18 times, I only send out an annual calendar. Once a year is not enough, right? Because the individuals that you know, the individuals that know, like, and trust you need to hear from you more often than just one time a year. And if you are diligent by staying connected regularly, okay, 18 times, you can expect 2 referrals for every 12 people that you know. The bottom line here is you don't need thousands of contacts in your database. You don't. What you need are meaningful connections. You need to stay connected regularly so that you can reap the reward of referrals. Now, when you know the value of something, I can assure you that you will treat it very differently. And I believe that this is so profound. Here's why. First of all, my husband, he received this huge painting. It's like a 3-foot wide by 4-foot high, okay? It's a hand-painted canvas of Jim Taylor, who plays for the Green Bay Packers. Now, I'm a Cardinal fan at heart, Arizona Cardinal fan, that is. We received that he was so excited to come home with this big painting, and he's like, oh, look what we got. And I'm like, great, I'm going to shove that in the nearest closet so I don't have to see it, because there's nowhere on our walls that we can put it. And I apologize to the Green Bay Packer fans, okay? But this painting is so large that it's got nowhere to go. So off to the closet, I shoved it in there with a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? Years later, a friend of ours came over, and we were talking about, football, we were talking about memorabilia, and then my husband said, hey, you might know about this painting that I have. And I was rolling my eyes. Oh, there's that dumb old painting, right? My husband goes to the closet and pulls it out, shows our friend, and our friend says, that is signed by the artist who painted it. And there's other information on the back of the sign or back of the canvas that says it's real and it's authentic. So our mutual friend said that painting is worth about $5,000. So I was like, okay, we need to go get some really special blankets, and we need to wrap it. First of all, I need to get on YouTube and figure out, how do I preserve a painting of this value. So I got the cloths, right? I got the plastic, I got the wrapping stuff I was almost to the point of ridiculous. But here's why I did that, right? The only reason why I did that was because I realized what the value of that painting was. Am I rolling my eyes anymore about that painting? Absolutely not. Is it shoved in the closet? No, it's in a very special place where nothing is going to touch it because I know the value. So the reason I share that story with you, which is really important for you to know, is because year over year, if you do not know what the value of your database that you're lugging around, if you don't know the value of that, you will continue to treat it as it's always been treated. So until you know the value, will you then realize, wow, there's potential here and I need to treat it more carefully. So let's do the math, okay? Here's what I want you to do. So on a piece of paper, all right, or get your calculators out. Let's suppose you have 100 people that you know. My guess is that you know more than 100 people. So in the near future, I'm going to want you to put your calculation in here. Whatever that number is of the number of contacts that you have, I want you to replace it where I have the number 100. But let's just, for example here, here's the math, okay? You take 100 people and you divide it by 12, because in the calculation it said for every 12. In this situation, 100 people divided by 12 equals 8.3333 forever, right? So let's just say 8. And then you're going to take 8 and you're going to multiply it by 2, because the calculation said for every 12 people, you can expect 2 referrals. So if we take 8 and we multiply it by 2, that's 16 referrals, okay? Now, I know you know more than 100 people, so it's up to you to do your calculation. And I'd love to know, what is your value of your database? But we're not done yet, okay? So I want you to take your number and I want you to replace it where it has the 100 people. I want you to do your calculation to figure out how many referrals can you expect from your database, okay? Here's the next important part. I want you to then, there's 2 things. Number 1, what is the average commission in your market? Okay, I want you to write that down. Whatever that average dollar amount, okay, of the average commission in your market, I want you to write that down. Because I want you to take the number of referrals total, and I want you to multiply it by the average commission in your market. And that is what you're gonna get. That equal amount is that estimated value of your database. Here's what I know. Once you know that number, you cannot unsee that number. It's true. You're going to then sit back and say, wow, it could be in the millions. It could be in the 100,000s. The point here is you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table by not connecting regularly with people in your database. So let's move forward. Okay. First of all, let's keep it simple. I want you to be more intentional, because that's the next thing that we were talking about in our Techinar for today. So I want to provide you with some really great conversation that you can use with people that you already know, even people that you're going to take that list of 20 things and get to know them a little bit better. But these are some questions that you can ask on social. Because here's the thing, your audience is posting a ton of stuff. And maybe you're just hitting the like button, or maybe you're just adding a little emoji with the thumbs up. Man, we could do a whole lot more. What I'm talking about is just these simple questions that you can ask so that you can show, you can demonstrate how interested you are in them. Okay, so here's the first question. So when someone is posting, it's their birthday. Okay, some people say, happy birthday. Some people will put a little graphic, happy birthday. Very few people that I've ever seen actually ask, what are your plans for your birthday? Trust me when I say they love to talk about themselves, right? So when you ask a question, you can expect an answer. So if you say, what are your plans for your birthday? Of course, you could say happy birthday, but in the same sentence, you can say, what are your plans for your birthday? And then just hit send, and they will reply back with what they're doing. They might not be doing anything, which is fine. They might be doing something extraordinary. Get interested, right? Okay, here's the next question that you can ask. You've seen this. People post pictures all the time if they're eating something amazing, okay? You can always say, looks delicious. Is that your favorite restaurant? Let them answer. Or you can ask them, what restaurant are you at? Unless they already said what restaurant they're at, okay? But it looks delicious. What is it called? You can also ask. But get interested in what they're posting. Don't just, like. Here's another one. When they receive an award, now I've seen a lot of our exit associates receive extraordinary awards recently. When you see someone getting an award or they achieved a goal, whatever it is, you can say, congratulations, right? Because you want to say that. But then ask them a question. How will you celebrate? That's a great question that you can ask. They might say, I'm going to get a manicure, a pedicure, whatever that is. Or I'm going to go, out with friends, whatever it is. Get interested. How about when you see, I just recently saw a post, one of our colleagues posted a picture of her getting together with her girlfriends, which I think is amazing. You can simply ask, you can say, how long have you been friends? Okay, so there's a lot of things that you can ask to get interested and pull more information. How about this? If someone is posting that they're going through a situation, can you ask, is there something I can do to help? Of course, that's a great question. And actually, that question, you don't have to put it in the post. You can actually send them an instant message. That's even more of an intimate conversation that shows to them that you're interested. Okay. How about this? Again, when someone receives an award, what did you do differently to be successful? That's a great question. And they might say, I started to ask questions, right? Or I started to do video, whatever that is. When someone is proud of their accomplishments, it's so great to ask them, what did they do differently to be successful? Okay. How about anniversaries? I saw a few anniversaries today. So another great question to ask so that you can get interested is, how did you meet? Okay, how did you meet? People love to talk about themselves. Here's the last one. The holidays are coming up, right? Or if there is a tradition that you see somebody doing, or again, if they're celebrating something, ask them, what are their favorite traditions? So that's a great question that you can ask. Here's the thing. When someone asks you a question, you're likely to answer, right? So it's the same thing here. And when they answer, they're going to also provide you with additional clues that you can put into your database and leverage ongoing. Okay, let's do more. How about building over time? Okay, we talked about that. And we said, remember the 18 touches? Okay, you probably started to have heart palpitations when I said 18 times throughout the calendar year. But look, here I provided you some detail of what you could be doing so that you can accomplish your 18 touches. Okay, how many are, okay, I think there's 20 so far in this list. Anyway, we'll count those in a minute. The first thing you can do is a monthly newsletter. That right there will whack 12 of those touches right off the bat. Okay, you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. And I certainly can leverage a monthly newsletter. So if you're not currently doing one, leverage it. We'll talk a little bit about that too. Actually, in your CRM, we're going to talk about CRMs to choose. A monthly newsletter that's provided in one is super important. The next one, how about a thank you card for their support? A handwritten note. You can do that twice a year, couldn't you? So now that's 14 touches throughout the calendar year. How about a birthday card? Easy, right? A birthday card could be sent out once a year. So that's 13 touch, what, 12, 13, 14, 12, 15 touches already. Here's another few opportunities. How about, oh, by the way, who do you know? Not to sell to, but to be a resource to. Could you do that twice a year? I would probably say yes, you could do that twice a year. Just reminding them that if they run into someone that you could serve, that you could be a resource to let them know to connect with you, okay? That could be sent however you want. Don't get hung up on the how, just the fact that it needs to be done, okay? Whether it's a handwritten note, instant message, text message, or even a call, okay? We'll talk more about calls in a second. Here's a few other things, something seasonal, whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, there's all kinds of opportunities. That's 2 opportunities that you could do there. How about a market update? Market update is really important. You could let them know what's going on in your market and what interests you about the changes in your market. You can certainly do that twice a year. A U update, this is my favorite because so many of our exit associates, they do a ton of training. They go to their office meetings and they're constantly learning. I always encourage them to share what is it that they're learning and to be socially gregarious about it, because not only is their clients watching them on social and they're seeing, wow, here's my agent, my exit agent who's constantly learning. You know, that's why they're an awesome agent. Or it could be your next buyer and seller, right? That's watching you. Maybe they interviewed with you and they're going to say, you know what, I'm going to choose this agent we interviewed with because I can see that he or she is actively, you know, learning to be a better professional. That's awesome. I want to work with them. And then there's also those agents not with, you know, Exit Realty who see our exit associates really get excited about training and what they're learning, that those agents might say, you know what, I want to come and join a company that's got great culture and it's also, they're also going to help me learn and thrive in any market. A you update, share what it is that you're learning and what keeps you so excited about what it is that you're learning, okay? So a you update, could you do that twice a year? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could. And then what about being a resource, just calling to check in to see what is it that you could do to help them, okay? I'm sure you could do that twice a year. So right there is more than 18 touches. It is well beyond 18 touches. So I want you to consider adding these into your, you know, engagement process with the people that are in your database so that you can lean into them. They can become closer to you. They can see that you are definitely a resource. You're not selling them anything, but you're being a resource. And that is so important, especially with how busy we are. And you really want, you know, you can be busy saying, but when you're actually demonstrating it, you're going to win every time. Okay, what else do I have for you? Okay, choosing the right CRM. Now, don't be a penny pincher, okay? This is the most invaluable asset that you have, and that is the people. These people, provided you stay in connection with them regularly, they will provide you a lifetime, a career lifetime of referrals if you stay connected in a meaningful way, if you get interested. So a CRM should have a lot of amazing benefits to it. First of all, if you already have a CRM, don't look and see what else is good for you. Stick with the one that you have, but make sure that it's easy for you to add contacts to it, whether you import it or whether you add them in one at a time. Make sure that you can add complete information about your contacts. You also have notes that you can include about them, which is super important because remember, as you're getting to know your audience, you want to make sure that you grab that information and you put it into your CRM in the notes section. And maybe it's some information that's timely. You want to make sure that you add reminders. So like a calendar reminder is super important. You also, in your CRM, want to have some marketing included, whether it be seasonal cards. It could, now the marketing could be a newsletter for sure. It could also be marketing pieces that you can send regularly just to stay connected. Marketing pieces that lets them know that you're still in the market and that you're able to serve, and that it, of course, has your branding all over it. You also want to look for a CRM that has a campaign capability. A campaign is simply perpetual marketing. You set it up once and the marketing itself will stay connected with you and that contact via email. It could even be by direct mail or both, okay? But it does it for you automatically. So no matter how busy you get, the campaign will automatically keep you connected. That's super important. You also want to make sure if you've got a campaign that it's got metrics. Metrics are really important to let you know who's opening up your emails and who isn't. Because if you know the connections well and they're not opening up the email, maybe it's because you don't have the correct email. Or maybe it's an email that they don't use. So you want to certainly reach back and say, hey, I've noticed in my reporting that you're not opening up emails. Let me make sure I've got the correct email for you. Okay. Or you can suggest, is there a better email that is best for me to use just to stay connected? Okay. They'll provide you with one. You also want to make sure that your CRM is integrated with tools that you're already using. That's going to make it easier for your CRM to plug into the tools that you're already comfortable with, whether it be video, text messaging, whether it be your calendar. There's so many different type of collaborations that you can use. So integration is super important. You also want to make sure that it's mobile friendly. Why is that? Because chances are you're going to be more engaged with your CRM if you can leverage it on the go. Not always are you going to be in a place where you could use your laptop, right? Or your desktop, but your mobile, always. So make sure that you have that. And then last, but certainly not least, and I should have put it at the very top, is support. You want to make sure whatever CRM system you're using, that you've got incredible support, that you have real people that are there to help you get the help that you need. You want to make sure to tell the CRM provider, whoever your support is, to make sure that they're helping you. You leverage their CRM. I know because I used to work for a CRM company, they want raving fans. So reach out to them and make sure that you're getting the support that you need, which is super important. Now, I've got a couple scripts that I've seen over time that are really beneficial for both reconnecting, those guilty agents who haven't connected with their database and they just need an excuse to just get reconnected. Yeah, this is for you. So for example, let me just move this little screen out of the way. Okay, so for example, you want to use something like this. So if you've got people in your database that you haven't connected with, you want to definitely say, I apologize for not staying in touch. Sorry, I apologize for not staying in better touch. Okay. First of all, being transparent and just owning it, that is so respectful. Okay. You can also say, I've made changes to my business so that I can be a resource and stay connected. That's a good thing. Think about that. If someone told you that and said, hey, my bad, right? I apologize for not staying in better touch. And saying that I've made changes to my business so that I can be a resource and stay connected, is that a great thing? Of course it is. Of course it is. But just rip the Band-Aid off and say that, okay? Now, if you have individuals that you've not connected with, here's something that you could use to connect. There's two. So first of all, you can say, I'm taking my real estate business seriously, which is why I'm adding my best contacts to my database. Can I count on you to support me by remembering to share my information with someone who needs my help? Now, that's a lot of words. You can customize this so that it fits you. But I can assure you this, there's a few things that will trigger very favorable things for you. First of all, when you're telling people that you're taking your business seriously, is that a good thing? It is most definitely. And also by saying that I'm adding my best contacts to my database, is that a good thing? Yes, it is, because they're going to feel like, wow, I'm kind of a big deal, right? And then you can say, can I count on you to support me by remembering to share my information with someone who needs my help? Of course, they're going to help you. Of course, okay? So that's a good one. And I can assure you, as you say this script over and over, or a variation of this script, it's going to become second nature to you, okay? I promise. Here's the other one, and a big one. This one at the very bottom is, I've never asked. If you had questions about real estate, do you have someone you go to whom you trust? Huge. This is huge. The reason why this is so important is because you're going to have complete clarity. Does this individual currently have an agent that they go to? I can assure you that more often than not, they don't have anybody. They've been abandoned, okay, by their previous agent. And here's your opportunity to really leverage this conversation by saying, I've never asked. If you had questions about real estate, do you have someone you go to whom you trust. That's a really good one. So take a screenshot, practice these as you're getting reconnected with your database or you're leaning into your people and learning more about them. That right there is a really powerful question that you can ask, because with complete clarity, and let them answer the question, they might say, yes, I do have someone. Well, isn't it good that you know? Of course it is. But if they say, you know what, I don't, and then you can step in and say, I want to be that person. And then you want to make sure that you stay connected with them regularly. Is that good? I hope you really enjoyed that. Listen, I hope this session really gave you the opportunity to just realize you do know a lot of people, and also made you realize that I really don't know much about them. But here's the best part. You have the opportunity to lean in and get to know them better. But you want to leverage that information by adding it to your CRM. So important, because they're going to feel as though you really do care because you know so much about them. 20 things to get to know about that individual, that's a lot. And I would suspect that many of those things are going to surprise you, and it's going to help you lean into them a little bit closer. I would love to know, what is the value of your database? And how you can share that information with me is just simply do the math, right? Figure out how many contacts you have. Then I want you to divide that total number of contacts by 12. That'll give you the number of people who would refer you, okay? And then I want you to multiply that by 2, because then that's going to give you the total number of referrals, but we're not done there. I also want you to take the average commission in your area, and I want you to multiply it by the number of referrals that you can expect. That is the estimated value of your database. It's going to blow your mind. It really is. And I want to celebrate with you. So let me know. Text engage to 85377. I want to know, what is your estimate value of your database? It's going to be big. And you're going to even if your database is small, the number of the potential value is going to be big. And it's going to make you realize, just like that painting, there's value there. And I just need to treat it better. So I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time today. We do this on the 4th Wednesday of every month. It's called our Techinar. Make sure that you're receiving the emails, or go to Exit Realty Corp International on our Facebook page. Make sure that you don't miss the opportunity for these. This is the only public-facing webinar that we do every month where you can invite people. Anyone in the industry is welcome to come and partake, and we hope that the information is going to help bless them in their business. That's it for me, guys. Hope you have an outstanding rest of your day. Thank you so much for being with us. Take care, everyone.